All right, from the children to the parents, is the government keeping you up at night? I don't mean Uncle Sam's like staring at you, but they say the worse the economy gets, the less we're sleeping. Why? Well, Dr. Ben Graef joins us from the Sleep Medicine Center at Summa Health System. Welcome to you, good doctor.
Thank you very much for having me.
Very nice to have you here. All right, so what are the statistics of people who sleep poorly and have insomnia?
Well, you know, in 1994, the last time this was really studied, and a study by Morin, they found that 30% of people have insomnia at least once per month, or transient insomnia. And 10% of Americans actually have insomnia each and every day, occurring over the course of 3 or more months.
All right.
We feel those numbers are probably going up with a lot of stuff.
Yeah, 1994, that's a long time ago.
It's been a while, since they did a prevalence study. So.
All right. And so people, obviously, the bottom seems to be falling out of our economy. Most of us have lost, you know, our investments, our retirement, et cetera, et cetera. And we're not focusing on this during the day. It pops into our minds at night. It
seems to culminate at night. You know, you worry about, you know, whether you're going to be one of the employees in a job cut situation, or whether you're going to make the mortgage payment and those sorts of things, and you sort of lay there at night and start thinking about all these things. But it's actually the worst time to think about it, because it starts to interfere with your sleep and your ability to stay asleep.
Why do we start thinking about it at night?
Because it's the one time that our mind starts to get a little bit clear, and then we sort of start letting our mind wander between different things like that. But what I tell folks to do sometimes is just to sort of do that before you go to bed, maybe an hour before, make a little list of things that you need to get done.
All right. Now, if you don't treat insomnia, it can have some serious risks, right?
Exactly, yep. And what's interesting is just recently a study published in Sleep just this month by Dr. Zongas. They had actually linked insomnia, or people who sleep less than 6 hours per night, to risk of hypertension. It's the first time that's ever really been done. It's been proposed in the last several years, but actually he did a very nice study that actually linked those two things together. So there is some danger to having insomnia and letting it go untreated.
I've also heard poor sleeping can lead to weight gain.
Yep, it is exactly. In fact, they can induce diabetic-like symptoms in young males just by sleep depriving them, because what happens is it affects your glucagon and your cortisol regulation.
Okay.
And so I tell my patients, you know, try to always get 7-8 hours of sleep at night if you can.
Yeah. Now, do we run out and get Ambien?
Not necessarily, no. In fact, a lot of times the sleep aids are sort of cover-ups for something you're doing improper in sleep hygiene or sleep habits.
Sleep hygiene?
Sleep hygiene is sort of the catch-all phrase that we utilize for, you know, having a regular bedtime, spending 7-8 hours in bed, avoiding, you know, caffeinated beverages, stimulants, etc. before the bedtime.
How long before the bedtime?
Generally, you should stop drinking about 6 to 8 hours before your bedtime, because caffeine's got about a 6 to 8 hour half-life, so it'll linger in your system a little while. So try and avoid all those stimulants in a double latte in the afternoon if you can.
All right. What about television? A lot of people go to sleep with the TV on.
Some people do, yep. And of course, you know, it's not so bad to watch, you know, the news and things, but just do it in another room outside of the bedroom, because you want to associate the bed with a place to sleep or a place to rest, not a place to start watching TV and entertainment and things like that.
Can you oversleep?
No, not necessarily. In fact, you know, if you're actually oversleeping or sleeping more than 8 hours per night, odds are you probably have a sleep disorder of another nature, which would be a hypersomnolence or sleep apnea or narcolepsy or something like that.
Really?
Yep.
So if it gets to be troublesome, though, they should come and see somebody like you.
Precisely. There's a U-shaped curve with sleep. So as you get to the short end, you have a risk factors for hypertension, insomnia. As you get to the long end, you start developing risks for sleep apnea and things like that. So you really should hover in that 7-8 hour time frame.
All right. Okay. Good news. All right. Thank you very much, Dr.
No problem at all.
Good to have you with us.
Yeah, thank you very much.
You are with the Summa, the Sleep Medicine Center, the Summa Health System.
Precisely.
Thank you very much.
Guys.
We'll have your information on our website, and we'll have more, including the bruschetta that the good doctor has been eyeing. That's coming up.
All right.